label me. Sometimes labels fail me. לפעמים Amerikakit and sometimes I'm Israeli. Sometimes I'm Hilla the Killer. Sometimes I'm Hila Perry. Sometimes I like to shave. Sometimes I'm very hairy. Sometimes I'm dirty and sometimes I'm clean. Sometimes I'm nice, sometimes I'm mean. Sometimes I'm clothed, sometimes I'm naked. Sometimes I go, sometimes I don't make it. לפעמים פה, לפעמים שם. לפעמים לא, לפעמים סתם. לפעמים חול, לפעמים ים. לפעמים מים, לפעמים דם.
Sometimes it's all joy, sometimes it's all wrong. Sometimes it's white noise, sometimes it's my song. Sometimes I see all time continuous as one line. Sometimes I divide it into sections of just some time. Sometimes I get it and sometimes I miss it. And sometimes I'm finite and sometimes infinite. And sometimes I'm in it and fit it in with it. And sometimes I find it and sip it and skip it. Sometimes I'm just Nathan and sometimes I'm that rapper Nate. And sometimes I make love and sometimes I masturbate a lot.
אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני. אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני.
Sometimes it's all wavy, sometimes a mere particle. Sometimes it's all gravy, sometimes a clear garnish bowl. Sometimes I'm all of it, sometimes a part of whole. Sometimes it's songs and sometimes it's articles. Sometimes the contents and sometimes the cargo hold. Sometimes I got it, but sometimes it's hard to hold.
Sometimes I'm making connection, sometimes I get no attention. Sometimes I'm crippled with tension, sometimes I live with intention.
Sometimes I'm sheer spirit, sometimes I'm mere matter. Sometimes I'm right here, sometimes the hereafter.
לפעמים חושך, לפעמים אור. לפעמים טוב לי ובא לי ליצור. לפעמים רע לי חופרת לי חור. Sometimes I sink, sometimes I soar.
Sometimes in English we speak on the beat. אבל לפעמים מדברים בעברית. Sometimes I'm great, sometimes I'm cheap. Sometimes I rhyme, sometimes I don't.
Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'm still, sometimes I coast. Sometimes I'm less, sometimes I'm most. Sometimes I'm bread, sometimes I'm toast. Sometimes I'm right on time, sometimes I'm freaking late. Sometimes with all my heart I write these rhymes and kill the hate. אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני. אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני. אבל אני תמיד נשאר